I'm going to go through all of the things that run through the mind when we're using this team. I'm just going to refresh the overlay, actually. Need to refresh the overlay to make my team appear. This is the Ladias version of Scar and Bliss, which I think probably is the best team for open level. That is my initial feeling. I think there are too many problems with Settlements, with Dragon Dance Elements, and I think Ladio suffers from not being able to switch into critical hit ice beams. So I'm sticking with the Ladias. 161. Let's go. So I want to pay particular attention to the trainer name when we go in, because the trainer name can tell us what Pokemon set they're actually using. So this is a Fisherman, which means that it's going to probably be any set. Okay, so Theo is a bit weird. Theo is actually a lower tier water train, which means we're quite likely to face a Pokemon that only has a set 2. But it looks like he has Lantern, Starmie, Tentacle, Werelord, and Whiscash, which also could be any set. It's a little bit unlucky. Most of the set 2s would be easy to tap in this. So let's talk about Tentacle 1. Tentacle 1 is going to use Barrier, most likely. Could also Confuse Ray. Tentacle 1 is not a problem at all for Ladias. The only thing I don't want to have happen is I don't want to get Icy Winded, and I don't want to burn my Lumberry on Sludge Bomb. It'll never use Sludge Bomb on Scarm. It is a bit tempting to go straight to Latias, but I probably want to wait until I'm confused before I do that. So we'll be staying in against Tentacle 1. Tentacle 2, somewhat similar. I don't want to get hit by Confuse Ray on Latias if I switch. I don't want to waste my Lumberry. Surf from Tentacle 2 definitely would free-shot Skarmory. Need to be a bit careful about that. Same with Tentacle 3. The thing about Tentacle 3 is it's actually quite likely to use Mirror Coat instead of Surf, even though Surf is going to do a lot of damage and Mirror Coat doesn't really make sense. It's the way that Gen 3 AI works. It's going to use Mirror Coat against Skarm because Skarm is Steel and Flying, which are both physical typing. And then Tentacle 4, Hydro Pump Crit won't kill Skarm, but it's a bit risky. It's a little bit difficult to deal with Tentacle 4. A little bit difficult to do the Tentacle 4 easily because Sludge Bomb obviously does quite good damage into Blissey. If I get poisoned by Sludge Bomb, I'm in trouble, and I'm pretty sure that Sludge Bomb will always break the Blissey substitute. Most likely, against Tentacle 4, I just want to burn the Hydro Pump BP and then waste it with Skarm. But we'll see. I'm gonna begin with Protect. There's no downside to using Protect on turn 1. Okay, so it is set 1 or 2. The risk of it being 1 versus the risk of it being 2. I don't really want Skarmory to take damage if it is 1 or 2. There's a lot of value in keeping Skarmory at full health and not taking damage and not using up the Chesto Berry. So I'm going to try and see which Pokemon this is with Blissey. Okay, so it is Tentacle 2. So for this, what I'm going to do is wait until Confuse Ray hits and Toxic hits. At that point, Tentacle can't use Toxic or Confuse Ray. It's going to use Surf, and on that turn, I'm going to switch to Latias. That guarantees that Latias doesn't burn its Lumberry. Until then, it doesn't really matter what we do. Obviously, Tentacle could be Clear Body. It could also be Liquid Ooze. The Growl doesn't really matter, but yeah, that's good. So ideally, it follows this up with a Toxic. Okay, that is perfect. So now that I am poisoned and toxicked, the smart AI is never going to use Toxic or Confuse Ray, which means Latias comes in without using up its Lumberry. There's the Surf. And I can safely boost up behind a Substitute. And Tentacle is going to waste a few turns trying to use status moves. Again, the AI does not understand how Recover protects me. Substitute being broken isn't a bother, because there is a slight benefit to being full health on Substitute. A lot of Pokemon that could switch in. Obviously, a lot of Water Pokemon do have Ice moves, and a +6 Latias would have its substitute survive almost every Ice Beam in the game. Because Kingler is a bit threatening on lead. This is going to be Kingler 2, it's never Kingler 1. But because we're fully set up, we're not worried about Kingler. Then Auxiliary. So Auxiliary did have a lax in sense, but even if we miss every single move, we outstall Auxiliary. It's very easy. There's a good chance that this train is actually going to tell us a bit more information. So it's Nico, Triathlete Nico. This is a set 4 trainer, so whatever he sends out is going to be set 4. So it's Sceptile 4. Sceptile 4 is a bit threatening to Skarmory with Thunder Punch, obviously. If Thunder Punch crits with a high roll, Skarmory will go down. I can go straight to Blissey here. The downside of going to Blissey is that if I do get a paralysis, it is a little bit tenuous on always being able to perfectly outstall. A Leaf Blade crit still probably doesn't do more than 30% to Blissey, so it should be reasonably safe. Obviously, if Thunder Punch does paralyze, I will probably have to go Latias first on the Leaf Blade to activate Natural Cure. So this is an easy stall out for Blissey. Definitely we want to get rid of the Leaf Blades. After we do that, it's going to behave randomly, and it could use Crunch and get special defense drops. That's fine, though. I'm not too worried about that, because Latias can survive a critical hit Dragon Claw. There's no point using Substitute before it's starting to use other moves, though. We're not scared about Leaf Blade. Leaf Blade can't drop our special defense. It can't status us. And the substitute PP is actually quite important. Hi, Darnus. Thank you. So yeah, this is probably going to take a while. So once it's out of Leaf Blades, it is going to behave randomly. It's got a few crits, but that's fine. We do need to stay healthy. Because once it's out of Leaf Blades, there is a risk of Thunder Punch paralysis, and if that happens, I don't want to get paralyzed and then also be on low health and feel like I can't switch out because I can't get him safely again. So it's obviously out of Leaf Blades at this point. I'm only really concerned about the Crunch special defense drops. I'm just going to substitute so that doesn't happen for a bit. Another option here is we could be using Seismic Toss. The reason we don't want to do that is because if we can get Latias set up, we could easily kill the Pokemon in the back as well as Sceptile. But if Sceptile was more threatening, we probably would be using Seismic. There's the Crunch. It is important to count the PP on all of Sceptile's moves. I don't want to go too low on Soft Bolt or Substitute. It affects how good Blissey could be later in the game in an emergency scenario. Yeah, there's the crit. It is a bit dangerous because obviously we can't switch Skarmory in safely without risking a crit on Thunder Punch. There's a further special defense drop. That's a little bit annoying, actually. It's likely only going to mean that we burn a few substitute PP, though. The crit is also quite annoying. I wanted that to last another turn. Yeah, we've burned through more softball PP than I'd want to, but this should be a full Latias setup, which is at least going to do that. One good thing about Growl is that it means that the struggle damage will be nothing. Why is it level 96? Because Pokemon at level 96 do slightly less damage to each other than level 100 or level 60 because of the way the damage formula works. So because Sceptile's out of Thunder Punch, I'm actually going to go to Skarmory to reset the special defense drops. It did immediately get another drop. I think it's got 3 moves left, though. Yeah. So at this point, it's quite easy for Latias. Yeah, I considered putting more special attack on Latias so I could always kill the sort of mid-bulk T-Tar sets at +6. That might be relevant. Okay, and there was no surprises in the back. Those are all set for Pokemon. The sports world should accept Pokemon. Okay. Dorothy. So Dorothy is a set 2 trainer. Whatever's out, it's going to be set 2. Wolverine 2 is a little bit annoying. Ice Beam's going to be a 3-shot roll against Skarm. Obviously, it's got Curse as well. I don't really want it to use Curse because after a few Curse boosts, Earthquake is a bit of a problem for Blissey. Wolverine 2 is also one of the few Pokemon where an Ice Beam crit would kill Latias with a good roll. Most likely, I'm just going to use Whirlwind rather here. On turn 1, it's incredibly likely to use Curse or Double Team at full HP. So I should take no damage as I do this. Again, Lantern 2 replaces it. Lantern 2 is a much, much easier Pokemon to set up on. Blissey fully walls this. Obviously, Thunderbolt can paralyze Blissey, but that is completely fine. In fact, Latias could probably easily set up on this as well. The only problem with going Latias is I don't want to get paralyzed from Thunderbolt and use up the Lumberry. So what we'll do is just go straight to Blissey. And the aim is going to be to use as many growls as possible. One thing we could do is Seismic Toss, which would encourage it to use Endure. It would actually only use Endure if we use Seismic Toss 3 times. We would put it perfectly into Endure range. We're actually thinking about doing that now, actually. That is because the AI will not understand that Endure can fail. It will endlessly spam Endure. I'm actually going to do that. Yeah. So it's going to Endure or Flail only. I'm going to go straight to Latias. So there's the Endure spam that we were expecting. So when it's under 35% HP, Endure is always at +1. It can also sometimes use Flail, but that's fine. I'm obviously faster than this at Salackberry boost, so I'm not scared of that. We didn't kill Wolverine in one shot. That is a bit annoying. That is definitely a roll. I'm a bit worried about Double Team and Focus Band. The one good thing about this, though, is that with our defense boost, with our special defense boost, the Ice Beam is no problem. So Skarmy 2 in last. Skarmy 2 is a bit annoying. To see your Pokemon. Stella. So Stella is a set 1 trainer. Whatever she sends out is going to be set 1. So it's Taurus 1. Which Skarm does fully wall except for Swagger. Unfortunately, Taurus 1 using Thrash against Blissey is a bit risky. A Thrash crit won't kill Blissey, but it does do heavy, heavy damage. I think what we're probably going to do, I think I might wait for it to use Thrash, use up its Persim, and then use Thrash again. And then once it's confused, then we go Blissey. Thrash crit would also not kill Latias, though. This is reasonably safe. I could also Torment, but I'm not sure if I want to encourage the use of Swagger. It's a bit tricky. I do not want to switch, really. That's actually a pretty lucky roll. I do know the Confusion self-hit ranges for Skarmory. To only take 21, I think that's the minimum roll that we can do to ourselves. As the Thrash. Okay, good. It was a short confused duration. So we're going to let Thrash play out. Don't want to interrupt it, because we want it to use up its Persian Berry now, so that it can be confused in a bit. So because it's tormented, it's actually going to use Swagger now. We can protect on that. And there's the Thrash. I'm actually going to rest. Because this way it's going to use Swagger on this turn. I would like to bring Blissey in on a move that is not Swagger. That's perfect. And I'm asleep for that, so I can't self-hit. So yeah, if it crits right now, that's a bit of a problem. It is a bit of a problem if it crits right now. I'd have to go back and... Yeah, that's annoying. We did self-hit. That's a bit unlucky. I was hoping that Taurus would self-hit and not us. We did get the Growl off. That's a big deal. Obviously still dead to Thrash crit. What I might do is bring Blissey in on the Swagger turn so I can get leftovers healing. Oh, there's the crit. Well, I'm glad that crit Skarmory and not Blissey. So there's the Swagger. There's the Thrash. It's gone for the Earthquake. That is also possible, indeed. I'm taking quite a lot of damage from these crits. What's tricky about this is that Taurus is doing damage to itself. Yep, Taurus can learn Surf. It's getting all these self-hits late on when I don't want it to. Am I confused? I forgot. I should have been checking. I am, so it can't use Swagger. So it's guaranteed to use Swagger now. That is 3 leftovers healing. I wonder if I should actually be using Protect to prevent the Confuse on Taurus. I'm in a little bit of trouble here, actually. So it's got 3 Swaggers left. I'm only actually going to be able to bring in Blissey 3 more times, that means. The problem is it's only at -1. It keeps getting the crits on Skarmory. The problem with this is at -1, Thrash will break Latias's substitute. It's actually guaranteed to use Earthquake here. Well, no, it could also use Facade. That's not true. Yeah, I've messed this up badly. The self-hits are so bad. It self-hit so many times it didn't at the start. It is unlucky, but I wonder if I should actually just whirlwind it at this point. The max confused duration is also bad for me. It should always be swaggering, yeah. I need the health on Blissey. That's the last swagger. It is also out of Thrash, though. I don't think a -1 Facade would break Latias's sub. That's Facade. I'm gonna go Latias now. I'm not gonna be able to heal Blissey. Oh, it broke. I'm not sure if that's bad luck. Okay, it's a roll. It's a roll to break. I'm a bit worried about it dying to struggle recall. I'm just gonna attack, actually. It is a set 1 trainer. It can only be set 1 switch again. I'm not guaranteed to kill this. And it could use minimize. Okay. Okay, lesson learned. Don't do that against Taurus 1. But I'm actually not sure what I'm meant to do instead. Because using Whirlwind while confused on Skarmy seems even worse. Gideon. He only has starter Pokemon. It's guaranteed to be a starter, any set. Swampert's a bit risky. So the most threatening Swampert for Skarmory is Swampert 4. A Surf crit wouldn't kill. It is quite likely to use Mirror Coat. The biggest problem for Blissey would be Swampert 3. Swampert 1 isn't a problem because I go back to Skarmory. I think I'm going to have to use Torment. It's Swampert 3 or 4. It is more likely to be Swampert 3. Swampert 2 would never do that much damage with Surf. It hasn't got special attack investment. I'm a bit concerned about the fact that Ice Beam can freeze here. The problem is Swampert can also use Earthquake because of the dual type. Okay, it's Swampert 3. It's guaranteed to use Surf now. I could actually go Latias. Doesn't always. The AI does really like using counter and mirror codes. So this is a bit of a weird scenario. After I got the to explain this, after I got a defense boost, a special defense boost, Earthquake did more damage than Ice Beam. Obviously, Latias has Levitate, but the AI in Gen 3 does not understand Latias has Levitate while it's checking which move does the most damage, even though it understands that Earthquake does do 0. What that means is that Surf, Earthquake, and Ice Beam all get pushed down to -1. Obviously, Earthquake then gets seen as 0 damage, and it gets pushed down to like -10 or whatever. But Surf and Ice Beam are a 50-50 to be used, and it will never use Ice Beam over counter. So it's a bit of a weird scenario. And those aren't threatening. I'm guessing this is Maddox or something. It is Maddox, okay. Maddox is any set. We didn't need to torment. I wanted to torment in case I had to go Blissey. Because I don't want Blissey to take back-to-back Earthquakes. I'm going to have to protect on turn 1. The Calm Mind from Latias 5 isn't actually a very big deal because Blissey does beat it. So it is a Thunderbolter, which is fine. The worst case scenario is 2 or 3, but 2 and 3 don't do very much to Blissey with Earthquake. I'm just thinking about this, because if I use Growl once, Earthquake will still be the strongest move. Which is what I want, I think. It might not be, actually. Set 2 might use Psychic after a single Growl. I don't really want that to happen. I'm gonna substitute. Okay, it is 2 or 3. I think I have to do this because I don't want Earthquake to be breaking the substitute, which it looks like it can do. It's set 2 as well. Okay. Well, if it does get special defense drops, at least my Latias can switch into Psychic. It's not too bad. That's a big crit. Very big crit. At least it can't use Earthquake here. Earthquake crit might actually be able to kill. It did get the drop. It did get the drop, which does mean it has a chance to break my substitute with Psychic now. I'm gonna switch out. Do a quick check. 3-3-2. I don't think a crit Ice Beam would ever kill, but just want to be super sure I'm not switching into that. This is, of course, guaranteed to be Ice Beam. I think I'm just going to try and avoid the special defense drop on the last few Psychics here. Yeah, that should be it. Unless it crits this Psychic, that will be the end of these special defense drop chances. I am then vulnerable to being frozen. And it is a bit awkward. Because I think I'd rather risk Skarmory than Latias at this point. So Earthquake is helpful. It's going to encourage the chance of wasted moves. kind of hoping it uses more ice beams so I can get Latias in earlier. I'm getting a lot of crits. Getting a lot of crits here. I am in a lot of trouble if it freezes right now. Again, because this Latias sees Psychic is the strongest move, all of its other moves are at -1 on the AI. So it's going to behave completely randomly. I don't like that because I don't want to switch Skarmory into Thunderbolt and I don't want to switch my Latias into Ice Beam. Okay. That's the last Ice Beam. Scope Lens Latias 9. It is still better for me to waste the Thunderbolt PP so that when I switch to Latias I don't use up my Lumberry. But I'm not worried about being paralyzed. Okay. You have one left. Oh yeah, the Quick Claw Struggle crit is actually a somewhat real threat. If it's back-to-back. I'm going to make sure I stay at higher HP because of that. There's the Quick Claw Struggle. Well, it could Quick Claw Horn. No, it can't. It can't be nuking one because of Item Claws, actually. Which means it's definitely dead. That's good. The risk with Settlements is, of course, the Bright Powder sets. Okay. Settlements 2 would use Protect every time there. So it wasn't Settlements 2, it was one of the others. It was this. Set 4 Trainer, Roof. 21 IV. The IVs make a very small difference in some scenarios. So Rapidash is guaranteed to use Overheat. I'm actually quite tempted to let the Overheat just directly hit Blissey. Actually, I might even be more tempted to go Latias. The problem with going Latias is that if Rapidash is not actually guaranteed to use Overheat, it could also Double Edge. This is actually a bit annoying because of how much recoil damage Rapidash would take from Blissey if it hit it with Double Edge. That does dramatically change if I can get off a single Growl. I think I'm going to try and risk that. So I do want to be switching into Overheat. I do want it to waste its White Herb. I think I'm going to have to change tactic here and just let Rapidash die to its own recoil damage. That's a useful Overheat. Okay, I did actually drop its attack after all of that, which is a big deal because it won't break the Latias substitute anymore with Double Edge. So I'm going to attempt the setup. It's a little bit risky, this. Oh yeah, I do need to change Skarmo's gender, you're right. Oh no, that's a badly timed crit. Stop it. I'm not going to get a full setup now. But I would really like to get to +3. I'm too worried about it critting when I'm at low HP. So I'm guessing it's dead this turn. As long as it doesn't crit, I do have to substitute up. It's not an ideal setup. And it's set 4. So it's arrow 4. That's tricky. Carmine is going to be a roll. I'm actually going to let it hit me with double edge a few times because do I want to do it? The thing about Dragon Claw is that if I do kill it, I have to substitute up for the final Pokemon. If I recover, I'm never going to get the substitute back up. I think it's probably worth risking the roll here. Okay, that's a big hit. This Quick Claw Don fan. This would also... I don't know if this would be a roll. I should probably recover on this, though. The risk here is that... I guess it would be crit Iron Tail, and then it would have to Quick Claw Fisher Blissey later as well. But I should be able to prevent that with Torment, so I think if I hit the the Dragon Claw, I think it's over. Okay. I'm guessing this is another set 4 trainer. It is Melody, same roster as Roof. So this is Machamp 4. Machamp 4 is very annoying because it can Flamethrower, but can also use Cross Chop, because Cross Chop is high crit. I'm going to have to go Blissey, most likely. I do want to waste Cross Chop PP, so I am going to start off with Protect. I could Torment. I would live a crit Flamethrower. Flamethrower could crit burn. It's probably worth it, because I'm pretty sure Rock Slide is almost always going to break the substitute on Latias. The burn, but no crit. It is guaranteed to... No, it's not. It could actually Earthquake. It could Earthquake and Rock Slide. Not really, CISO. No. I mean, higher base stat total Pokemon are more likely to have more sets, basically. That is the logic. But yeah, why does Metagross have 8 sets, but Tyranitar and Dragonite have 10? Don't know. Obviously, they're open level exclusive, but... So I'd rather switch Latias into a move that is not Flamethrower, because I care about my Lumberry. Yeah, I would say it's most most connected to the base stats. Once it's out of cross drops, I will be surviving on these substitute on non-rock slide turns at least. It is ridiculous that recover is 20 PP in Gen 3, which is obviously boosted to 32. I actually lived that rock slide. That is insane. This thing is scope lens. I'm going to respect its ability to get back-to-back crits. I'm a little bit low on substitute PP, but it's doesn't really matter as long as I get the full setup. I don't want to lose my lum. That's the main source of tension here. There's the earthquake. Okay. Fully set up. Most of the time this will be a sweep against set 4. Aerodactyl 4 is back, but this time I'm at +6. And that's dead as well. Shania. Set 2 Pokemon, apparently. Yeah, Alakazam 2 is pretty likely to use Calm Mind. I can't let that happen. It is a problem. Actually, that's not true. I can set up on this with Latias. It is very likely to use Calm Mind. I'm actually going to go Blissey. I'm going to Seismic, so that if it uses Psychic, it can't use Calm Mind the next turn. Attacking a Pokemon is going with a physical move is going to stop the use of Calm Mind. Okay, that's good. So this should always be Psychic now. And I can heal on that and then go Latias. So Latias easily wins this Calm Mind war against the tormented Alakazam. Move Ball also an influence. I think you're right. That's a good idea, Dennis. Okay, so no Quick Claw from Flareon 2. And Credilli 2. Okay. Gregory. Any set. Okay. Actually, not any set. It could only be Latios and Latias 1 to 4. Don't like Snorlax. Don't like Snorlax because of Belly Drum. I guess against Belly Drum I can Torment, Protect, Rest. No, actually, I can't actually do that because it can go Belly Drum into a turn actually. It's just incredibly likely to use Rest. And Return would have to crit. Give Flareon 8 sets. I'm actually not too sure what I should be doing here. My intuition is to Whirlwind. I can Whirlwind it back in if it is an innocent set. Okay, it's Curse. That's not an innocent set. I'm very concerned about the Dragon Dance sets because I can miss them. They're Bright Powder. But knowing that Snorlax is in the back, I don't really want to Whirlwind if possible. Okay. It's more likely to be 1 than 5. I think I'm going to Torment. Right, so if it is 5, it's about to use Dragon Dance. If it's 1, it's going to use another move, obviously. What does Snorlax have? That's a good question, Dave. I'm actually gonna Torment. I'd rather Torment on Dragon Dance. Okay. I'm concerned about King's Rock on Blissey. Can't really go Latias though because it doesn't need to get that many Aerial Ace crits in a row to put major pressure on me. I think I meant to fully sort this out. I can get rid of all of the Rock Slide PP. The problem with Rock Slide is it overlaps with Dragon Claw. Trying to use Growl on Rock Slide just sounds so fishy. Put in a few protects. The rest PP can sometimes be relevant. We're kind of high on HP here. Yeah, it's definitely mixing in the Dragon Claw and the Rock Slides, but that's fine. Honestly, ideally it would also be run out of Headbutt PP. That's unlikely to happen. If I'm going to go Blissey, I would rather go Blissey while it still has Dragon Claw PP left. I'll wait for Aerial Ace. Yeah, I'm going to go now. I don't think Headbutt will break the sub. Probably should start off with Growl, though. A single Growl would be huge for Latias. There's the flinch. Okay, that is huge. Because Aerial Ace doesn't break this Latias substitute anymore. I would still want to see Dragon Claw out of PP first. That's a big, big crit. That might have been a bit greedy to growl there, actually. I think it's got one Dragon Claw left. That's it. I don't really want to switch into a crit headbutt or Aerial Ace. I want to heal Scarm as well, I think. This should be over. Barring insane struggle crits. So I do know that Snorlax is in the back. We saw Snorlax use Curse, right? Just think it matters because I don't kill Snorlax. Yeah, well, hopefully it's not 4 or 7. We'll see. This might be an incredibly long game. I might have to restall Snorlax. The thing on my side is it's quite likely to use Curse again, obviously. If it curses, I can attack again. If it Shadow Balls, I probably have to switch. Okay, good. Yeah, it was 4 or 7. God, it could be Bright Powder. I think I'm fine with it. The absolute worst case scenario is I miss Guard 4, and then Guard 4 crit freezes with Ice Punch. Even if that happens, Blissy's going to beat Guard 4. Latias will live the crit, but I might get back-to-back crit or some nonsense. I don't really want to use Substitute because I don't want to let Double Team Guard use Double Team. Okay. Alexis. Any set, there's a bias towards rock and steel types. That's a lie, actually. It's just sort of everything. Registeel is actually really good to see in the lead because I don't want to run into Registeel 4 or 5 in the back with Latias. So the most important thing to establish here is whether or not it's Registeel 4 or 5, and then if it's not, whether or not it's going to be exploding on me. I think I'm going to open with Torment. Just thinking, actually, what would I do if it is Registeel 3? Because I would not two-shot at +6. Okay. That's also a little bit annoying if it uses Amnesia Rest later, obviously. Metal Claw is very high PP, obviously. I also don't really want to let it run away with boosts. What I could do here is I could waste a lot of its curse PP. It doesn't really matter. Like Latias Blissey in combination is going to beat Registeel. It's not great though, because Registeel 1 does live free Seismic Toss. So it can rest Sleep Blissey. It's just unlikely to do so if it's got Curse PP left. So burning all of the Curse PP does sound quite appealing. I think actually what I'm going to do... I don't know if I want to Whirlwind, actually. Yeah, if they're on their last Pokemon, like none of their teammates are alive, it deprioritizes it. If you are also on your last Pokemon, it's only a -1 though. So if it's a final 1v1, it's a bit more likely than you'd think that they would explode, particularly at low HP. That is possible. It's the curse. Can't really predict the Metal Claws, particularly at high HP. It's got 2 Amnesia boost though. Okay. Interesting. So Rest is taking priority over the other 2 boosting moves because Rest is only -8. Yes. So I can burn all of its rests right now. That seems like a big deal. That is potentially saving a lot of Seismic Toss PP. The downside of doing this is that I'm burning a lot of Protect PP on Skarm. Is there a middle ground here where I want to burn like 6 or 7 rests? Yeah, Perishong and Destiny Bond do not check the party situation. They're just randomly used. Well, Destiny Bond is more likely when it's low HP, obviously. I also burned the rest this turn. Getting rest this low is quite a big deal. I've also burned, what is that, 12 Metal Claws? I'm worried about going down to 0 protects. I think that's wrong. There is another option, which is that Blissey burns all of the Metal Claw PP with Substitute. The problem with that, I'm a little bit worried about struggling Registeel. Like, +6 Registeel struggle probably does do more than half to Latias. So if I do that, I would be I'd be Seismic tossing the Registeel down, so that Latias can kill it. That seems best. The thing I got to be careful of here is that Metal Claw has more PP than Substitute, so I need to be very proactive with bringing it down. Yeah, I'm gonna do that though. I don't like using Whirlwind here. It's fine. I'm gonna substitute, so it's gonna up. Unfortunately, can't use growl on clear body. What I have done here is burn all of the curses. Without any curse PP, it's really not a threat. But the question now is whether or not I can actually set up a tool, and I think I can. I think it's perfectly acceptable to go this line. There's the Metal Claw. This is a very slow setup. I don't need to fully set up. Anything is better than the whirlwind option, really. I would appreciate a Metal Claw miss, actually. Let's think about this. The Pokemon I would really want plus 6 for are basically the bulky ass mons. Most of these I'm actually a bit worried about Steelix. Steelix, Metagross, Aggron, all on this guy's team. Scizor as well. And T-Tar. So I do want to be at plus 6. That is true. Actually not sure I've got the substitute BB to use another Calm Mind, Recover, substitute loop. It's not bad to be at lower HP. At plus 5, I do kill the ones with 0 bulk. Obviously, the bulky ones are a much, much bigger problem. I think I have to hit this. The Dragon Dancers are likely to use Dragon Dance more than once, and the T-Wavers are gonna... Well, there's only one T-Wave set. I'm actually most concerned about 7. Because 7 is going to see a kill here through the substitute who's going to attack twice. I might have to switch if it is Rock Slide. God, do I want to use Recover then? Oh, no. I've got to attack. I've got to put pressure on the Dragon Dancers. Ideally, I kill. Okay, that is potentially lucky. Scizor last is also a little bit nasty. I am very concerned about Scizor 4. Actually, no, I'm not. No. I've got the Protect PP to beat Scizor 4. I didn't use up all my Protects. In that case, the biggest problem probably is Scizor 3. But I can't leave Sizzle 2 alone either. I've got to attack. I have got to attack. And I don't think I can use Recover because of the Quick Claw on Sizzle 2 as well. I need to get the damage in. Okay. Well, that wasn't Sizzle 4. Okay, Latias is getting the crits to make sure the match isn't that interesting. So Oscar, Breeder, set 4, I know that. This is Lapras 4, which is completely fine. The only problem with Lapras 4 is it can potentially freeze Blissey. I'd like to try and avoid that. I don't want it to be using Surf, I want it to be using Ice Beam. As many Ice Beams as fast as possible. That's good. That's not good. Honestly, even if I get frozen, I'm okay. I can bring Skarmory into a Surf or Ice Beam. Okay, that is good. Good Ice Beam spam. Nice. Okay, it's really going hard on the Surfs. It's not too consequential. It just means I've wasted a lot of substitutes. I do have to still substitute here. Yeah. It could get the special defense drop, however, at this point, obviously, Latias no longer is concerned. I don't want to burn the Lum on a potential T-Bolt paralysis. I thought it still had a Thunderbolt. Okay, I miscounted that. The exact substitute PP does sometimes matter. It's mostly these Ice Beam scenarios I keep mentioning. Espeon 4, that's fine, as long as it doesn't get extreme luck. And Aggron 4 is also fine. This should be over soon enough. It's a black belt, but almost all of his Pokemon are rock and steel. Oh no, there are a few fire. Okay, no, he's got a good mix. Any set. So Blaziken. Obviously, the problem with Blaziken is overheat, and to a lesser extent, Flamethrower. Not so much Blaze Kick. Blaze Kick would have to crit to kill Skarm. But yeah, not happy about potential Blaziken 4. Need to check what is the fire move going to be? Blaze Kick. What's a little bit awkward about this is the fact that obviously Brick Break crit does kill Blissey. I mean, I could just go straight to Latias. I'm a little bit worried about the PP situation and the fact that Mega Kick crit does do a lot. I might have to switch back. Mega Kick is only 5 PP, but I might have to switch back. Like, what would that look like? I would switch to Latias. I would substitute and then recover. If Mega Kick crit on that turn, I'd be in big trouble. Major alternative, I go Blissey on the Blaze Kick. Bring Latias in on the Brick Break, and then go back to Skarmy on the Mega Kick. So we're basically doing a switch trio, where Blissey's always switching into Blaze Kick, Latias is always switching into Brick Break, and Skarmy's always switching into Mega Kick. The problem with that is if Mega Kick crits Skarm, it's probably possible for Thunder Punch to get used then. It's not too bad though. Also, it could Blaze Kick on Blissey and waste Latias's time. Let me think about this. I do that twice. And then on the next time around, I can actually stay in with Latias. It's going to be out of Mega Kicks. Let's do that. It is a bit wasteful of Skarmy's HP, but I do get the setup. Actually, the worst thing that could happen is actually Latias being crit. That would be much worse than anything else. So the reason why Blazer can use Blaze Kick on Blissey is because Blaze Kick is a high crit move, and Blissey doesn't resist it. It's got a 25% chance to get a +1 score, go back to 0 and tie with Brick Break. But that can't happen against Latias because Latias resists Blaze Kick. It actually happened. I'm a little bit annoyed at that. I do have to go round. Do I have to go round again? I mean, if Latias gets burned, it's really bad. I might have to stay in. I would like Mega Kick to miss. That would be nice. Okay, good. Double miss. Okay, that's pretty lucky. And now it's over. I do want to be at full HP. Ooh, it's going insane with the scope lens. Okay, finally. I obviously one-shot all of them. I do one-shot Harima 1 as well, which is the fully defensive one. Okay, it is 2 or 3, obviously, to Quick Claw there. It's actually good news, though. It means that the final Pokemon does not have Quick Claw. So yeah, this is not... It actually has to be Golem 2. That's quite funny. In that case, let's just kill it. Oh, it's Annabelle. Annabelle time. So the Annabelle matchup is... there's a almost guaranteed win. There is a worse timeline here. So Raikou doesn't kill with Thunderbolt. However, if Thunderbolt crits, it does. So the worst timeline is that Raikou crits with Thunderbolt. I go Latias, and it's not a tormented Raikou, and then Raikou goes nuts with the crits on Thunderbolts against Latias. It shouldn't ever happen, really. And the Carmine means that it's over. It's going to always Thunderbolt here, since Thunderbolt kills. And now I switch into a move that is not Thunderbolt, and it's over. I know my PP doesn't matter. It's just the it's the fact that her Latios has Bright Power. That's the only thing I'm left to worry about, really. So I'll let it rest here. I'll let it rest again. Ooh, you didn't rest. Wow, you lived that. I forgot that. I'm gonna have to set up again, aren't I? Boom, 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 boom. You think about this. It's out of Thunderbolts. What I'm going to do is I'm gonna go Blissey. I'm gonna do this just in case I am wrong and somehow it has Thunderbolts left. Just gonna growl for a bit. It's out of rests, I know that. I'm gonna do 2 Seismic and then go back. Okay, good. And now I don't miss. Oh, worst timeline avoided. Any set? Okay. Poison and dark types. The Venusaur 2 is very annoying with Leech Seed. The rest of them kind of all suck. If there's a sleep powder, that's fine. So the one concern here is a huge string of crits from Venusaur 3, which does enough recoil damage to itself somehow. I don't think that's possible against Skarm, though. Yeah, there's a double edge. So if I protect on a double edges, I think it's going to be over. Yeah, I don't know. I was really expecting to wake up with no voice today. Because it was going last night. But for whatever reason, it's fine. I don't know. So yeah, Venusaur's done quite good damage to itself with double edge, but it's not enough. So it's now behaving randomly. It's going to sleep powder when it can. I do want to growl this. Blissey is faster than it. I'm just going to do this so that Latias doesn't burn its Lumberry on Sludge Bomb Poison or Sleep Powder. Which are the only moves left. It's actually going to use it's going to use Struggle. I'm a little bit nervous about this because the Struggle crit definitely breaks the sub, just like that, yeah. And it's doing a decent chunk to itself with Struggle. But Struggle crit does so much recoil if it hits that into Blissey, I can't really risk it. I'll take this. I'll take this for sure. I could be focus banded, but that's it. That's the only thing that could happen. Okay, no bright powder. I cause outrage as a trainer. This is the standard grass psychic spam. Is Venusaur free back? Yeah, Venusaur 2 is annoying, but it's only annoying. So I need to wait until it uses Leech Seed, which guarantees it can't Leech Seed again, and then I substitute on it. Nice crit. And now I miss every move. I shouldn't have killed it, actually. It's got light screen up. That's a mistake. The good news here is that obviously Starmie does no damage to me at +6 special defense. Okay. It is very likely to be 3 or 4 rather than 7. It's any Marowak set, I don't know which one. I do have to Whirlwind because of Swords Dance. Obviously Swords Dance is a massive threat. Okay. That is also a little bit scary. The problem here is I don't want to Whirlwind again because Marowak could come back out. So I think I might lead off with Torment. Okay, it's Gyarados 1. On paper, it should be fine. I'm worried about the sequence of if I substitute Bite crit and then it uses a turn after a lot of boosts. A Bite crit will break the Latias substitute. So it's very difficult for this to be safe. So what I'll have to do is try and Growl. I'm gonna have to be proactive about this. I don't have time to waste. This is gonna do a lot. I'm not sure if I can substitute here. I don't think I have time. It is at least only at +0. I think I'm going to substitute now. So it won't Dragon Dance once it's at +6 speed, but if I can keep it attack low, I'm not that worried about it. Still not great though, because obviously at +6 speed, it's very capable of using T-Wave against Latias, which is a really, really annoying situation. Even though it's fast, so it can T-Wave. I don't really want to lose my lumbar. I also really don't want to be paralyzed. It's very difficult to make it waste its Thunder Waves, though. I might have to fully stall this. It should really like using T-Wave. I'm hoping it uses T-Wave a lot more than Bite, and then Bite's naturally high PP will clutch this. It's a little bit scary because it will re-boost up its attack once it can use Dragon Dance again, which isn't for a while, but there's the T-Wave. I do have to switch now. Might actually protect. It's good use of Thunderwave. Good use of Thunderwave. It is going to be stuck on Dragon Dance at the end though, which is a tiny bit scary. A +6 Latias would never kill Gyarados. Yeah, this is a little bit awkward. Bite, T-Wave, Return are all about to be out of PP. Is this better? What is T-Wave versus Dragon Dance? Is it going to prioritize Dragon Dance, actually? Let's have a look at this. So it's -8. So it will rather use Dragon Dance than Thunder Wave. That's interesting. I'm worried about Blissey being fully paralyzed as I try that though. I'm a bit worried about Gyarados critting struggle against Blissey as well. Yeah, there it goes. Altismo. A little bit of a Gyarados 1 dilemma. I'm worried about how much struggle damage it's going to do to itself. crud. I might have to go directly to Latias, actually. So it's going to use Bite here. And now it's going to Thunder Wave, but I do need to start setting up before struggle, really. I'm going to use up the Lumberry. I am on a little bit of a clock. I might go at +4. Because this is quickly going to get out of hand with the Dragon Dancing struggle. Okay, +6. I'll take it. I thought it would do a lot more damage than that. Oh, Marowak is still in the back. I am very, very concerned about Scizor 4. Okay, it's not Scizor 4. It's Scizor 2. Okay, I was very concerned about Quick Claw Light Screen as well. Got away with it. It's a tricky game, tricky game. I wonder if I should have actually Whirlwind the Gyarados, even knowing that Swords Dance Marowak was in the back. Ogafan are set 4. Okay, if it's Absol, it's Absol 2, obviously. So this will be Double Edge. I think I just need to Whirlwind this. It's going to die to its own recoil too quickly for me. And I can't go Blissey on Double Edge. I guess I could Torment. Lantern 4 is going to use Thunderbolt for sure. I actually kind of want Blissey to be paralyzed so it can't be frozen later. Lantern proving that Blissey is never completely safe against a lot of special attackers. Okay, the paralysis is actually quite good news. I'm going to attempt to do this without switching out. What's complicated about this is because Surf and Thunderbolt both tie for highest damage, as soon as one of them is out of PP, it's actually possible for Lantern to use Ice Beam, because the other one can be seen as lower damage on the random damage check. And then Ice Beam ties with them at -1, and if I'm confused, it'll happen. And I don't want to switch Latias into a Confuse Ray either, because that would use up Lumberry. That's why I'm actually quite pleased I got paralyzed. Ooh, the back to back to back. No. Bum, 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 bum. It's out of surf. It's gonna be struggling. It's gonna be struggling here. I'm just gonna go Latias early. I think the amount of PP that Blissey has does sometimes matter. That's doing too much. That is doing too much. Never mind. That was a pretty bad team. Brooks. Set 4 trainer. So Magma 4 is going to Flamethrower, Cross Drop, or Confuse Ray. Those are all possible moves. It's a bit awkward, actually. I'm wondering if I need to stay in and risk the Torment. I'm also a bit tempted to go Blissey, kind of half hoping for it to use Confuse Ray. If it uses Confuse Ray and Confuse Ray again, then I can bring in Latias safely. But obviously with Flame Body, I really don't want to use up my Lumberry. I am going to Torment, I think. Okay, perfect. Even if I don't actually get the Torment off, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine, because it's not going to it's not going to confuse Ray again. It could Flamethrower burn Latias. If that happens, I'm probably going to go and stall it out so it would die to struggle later. It'd be a mega stall out. But in lieu of that happening, I am going to try and get Latias in. Perfect. So I do risk the Flame Body here, but it's fine. It's actually it does cost me something to stall it out completely with the other Pokemon in terms of PP. Okay, so Slowking 4 gets the Quick Claw Ice Beam. And Alakazam 4 is Bright Powder. So I am actually going to use Substitute, since obviously the Ice Punch doesn't actually break it. Good. So we substitute there so that if I miss and then Ice Punch crits, I don't immediately enter potential loss scenario. This is any set. So like most strong fire types, I do have to scout the move. I'm hoping it's not overheat because I don't want to, I don't want to deal with the double edge. So Houndoom 2 is a bit of a weird one because of Raw. This is a mega stall out again. So yeah, the crunch special defense drops can be a bit annoying. I can force rest with Seismic. I think I'm going to do that. I do think I'm going to do that. Yeah, the back-to-back drop is rather lucky. So we'll do it this way round. It'll use up Lum on the first rest. It could be early bird. Wow, okay. I'm glad I actually went for the rest there. Wow, we are going nuts with the crits in this Houndoom. I actually wanted to roar me into Skarmory so I can burn a sleep turn. That was successful. It no longer has the PP to kill Blissey. So the goal now is just to I just want to get rid of all of the raw PP, which should be fast because it prefers to raw than rest. It is just raw and rest now, so it's got 9 left of both. It's actually going to roar, isn't it? Again, one last time. No, it's got none left, okay. Again, a little bit concerned about the bright powder sets. There is also a very low chance of Quick Claw Destiny Bond, I think. That's fine. Not worried about Mischievous. Treven. They all have the same. They all have the same roster. The Dragon Tamers anyway. It doesn't matter which one it is. Aggron. Do you need to protect? It is special Aggron. I don't really want to be burned. Thunder is quite annoying. It's a 30% paralysis chance. It's quite likely to burn the Lumberry on Latias. It should be out of Thunders soon. Thunder, Fire Blast, and Blizzard all tie for highest damage, which will leave it with Surf. It should live this, really. Yeah. It can't be a Bright Powder set, which means I'm actually completely safe here. Since Aggron was Bright Powder. Crit might have mattered. Obviously, Gyarados 1 and 4 live a +6 Dragon Claw. Just being honest. Not another trainer battle. It's literally the frontier. These NPCs are trapped in here. So this is a bit of a weird one. It's so Finn and Samir have, first off, their broad thing is water and fighting types. The water types are set 3 and 4. However, the ice types can be any set, and the fighting types can be any set. So this Starmie is set 3 or above. It can't be 1 or 2. It's just not on his roster. Basically need to know whether or not it's going to Thunderbolt. Surf. So it's not 3 and it's not 8. Those would Thunderbolt. Yeah, it's 5 or 6. It's more likely to be 5, to be honest, given the alternatives on the moves that tie with Surf. It matters because set 5 has special attack investment, so a crit Surf and Starmie 5 could kill Skarmory. And for that reason, get out of here. Okay. 120, that is Starmie 5 indeed. I'm a little bit worried about the Psychic special defense drops later. It can Psychic before then. Surf is obviously 5 base power stronger than Psychic, makes Surf a bit more likely. The good thing about Starmie 5 is that Latias dominates it quite easily. Is it light screen? Just want to be careful about not killing this while light screen is up. So Starmie does have a tiny chance to beat Latias with enough crits, which is why I'm staying in with Blissey, just reducing the chance of that happening. There's a special defense drop. I'm probably getting out of here now, that means. He doesn't have the BB to actually beat Latias one-on-one anymore. Just to stall out versus Blissey. Even if it crit every psychic. Light screen is gone. Time to kill it. Could be any Machamp set. That's fine. Machamp 6. Worst case scenario, the focus band, I feel. Machamp 7 could use a track. That would be pretty funny. I would probably have to stay in for that. No Quick Claw? Okay. And that's fine. We should kill Hariyama 1, even though it's got a lot of special bulk. My heroine adventure isn't going well. Our lane is set for, I believe. Yes, yeah. Gator 4. Gator 4 is okay. It's just a bit annoying if Earthquake gets enough crits. What I might do is alternate back and forth between Skarmory and Blissey until Hydro Pump is out of PP. And at that point, Torment. I guess Protect speeds that along a little bit. So it's not... I want to wait for it to Earthquake pretty much. It can Earthquake against Skarmory. There it is. Bringing Blissey into a move that is not Earthquake, which means it can't do as much damage. The crit Earthquake would be a significant chunk of my health. I'm gonna soft boiled. Yeah, it's fine. Basically over. At this point, I just need to worry about not having the Lumberry used up by an Ice Beam freeze. There's the Ice Beam, so I could actually switch now. The Aerial Ace crit doesn't do too much to Latias. I'm actually very surprised that broke the sub, because that Ice Beam didn't crit. I'm very surprised that actually does enough. Again, the scope lens makes struggle a little bit. A move I have to respect. Okay, let's get rid of this. There's a set 4 trainer. Always happy to see Kingdra. If it does open with Carmine, this could last a while. Yeah. I'm gonna stay in and attempt to crit it. I can't lose this. It's just that I might take a while to win. It's actually safest to stall out the ice beams with Latias anyway. No crits. No crits. No crits. No crits. I'm going to have a lot of crit attempts. I can't do this if Blissey is the second Pokemon in, because I know Blissey is the last Pokemon. I'm happy to do this. This Blissey does not have leftovers. I'm no risk of an infinite battle. It looks like I'm not going to crit. So I should waste all the counter PP for sure. Where's the button? Latias needs scope lens. Yeah, exactly. It is out of counters. I can just... Okay. I did actually think this was Alonso. I think I recognise that quote now. So, starter Pokemon: Crobat, Lapras, Slaking, Snorlax, Metagross, Milo, Blissey. I mean, as long as it's not Snorlax or Metagross, I think I'm fine with any lead. Blastoise, yeah, I think I stand by my statement. I think that's fine. Counter is Blastoise 3, obviously. Blastoise is too weak to really ever get past Blissey. Particularly if you spam counter. So Surf is now strongest move, obviously, after that many attack drops. I am waiting for Ice Beam to be burned out of PP, though, to get Latias in safely. However, wasting all of the Surfs is helpful for if I need to go to Skarmory in an emergency. So that was Earthquake. It is out of Surf and Counter, that means. It would be exceptionally unlucky to get a Freeze actually mattering here. In terms of Freeze into Earthquake, multiple crits. I'm going to be slightly better about not wasting substitute on Latias in situations which doesn't require it. Ooh, the back-to-back crit on the struggle. We're going to get a focus band? No. I'm always nervous about the white powder ones. Good, good, good. Okay, that's fine. I don't believe this. Harold. Yeah, it's just flying Pokemon. I'm Flygon. I'm just thinking about Dojo 3. Do I want to immediately open with Torment or not? I think I'd rather open with Protect, actually. So that is Dojo 2. And that is a crit. This could go wrong. So the fact it's tormented means that it's always going to use Protect on the other turn. Since Protect is 0, 1, or 2. No, it's 0 or 1. No, is it? No, it is possible for it to be -1, isn't it? It's 25% chance for it to be -1. So it's not always going to double-edge Protect, then it could double-edge Drill Peck, but that's fine. I just care about the double-edge, really. And that's the move that is always going to be used on the other turn. Actually, no, it's not. Because it could Drill Peck here and then it could Protect. Just gotta hope that doesn't happen. Yeah, so actually after Drill Peck it's most likely going to use Protect. No, it's a 50-50, isn't it? Yeah, okay, good. So if it protects, it's always going to double team on next turn, the double edge on next turn. But if it doesn't, it's not guaranteed. Hasn't got enough PP at this point. Drill Peck is a pain. Drill Peck does a bit too much to Blissey. Go now on the Feint Attack. I'm a bit worried about Feint Attack and Drill Peck both critting. I'm also a bit worried about King's Rock on Feint Attack, denying the healing. Okay, good. I'm actually going to substitute because of King's Rock. If I switch Latias into a Drill Peck crit, that's really bad. The Feint Attack crit isn't quite so bad. It's just a bit annoying. I probably have to heal Skarm first, though. There is a crit. Obviously, Drill Peck crit breaks the substitute. Smoke. Little bit awkward because Crobat 3 and 4 are some of the Pokemon that do actually outspeed Latias naturally. A little bit worried about them both. I probably have to reset if they do. Okay, good. No Bright Powder, no Focus Band. Okay. So it's a set 4 trainer. 21 IV. I am very concerned about Explosion. I think the correct sequence is always going to be Protect, Torment, Protect. Once I Torment on Psychic, it is guaranteed to explode the next turn. The reason why it's correct to Protect on turn 1 is because it can also explode on turn 1. That's good. So now that it's used Psychic, it can't use it again. It can't use Giga Drain because it's a resisted drain move on a Pokemon that gets like -3 or something. It's going to explode, basically. It's guaranteed. Okay. I mean, that is a bit awkward. Yeah, I have to go. I'm a bit scared of Flareon 4 because of Quick Claw. Quick Claw double edge here would be pretty devastating. I'm actually wondering if I should soft boiled because double edge crit wouldn't kill if I'm at full health. But the problem is that's always going to be a risk. I do have to growl. Sunny day. I'm going to substitute at this point. A double-edged crit wouldn't kill Latias. I'm wondering if I should go. The problem with going Latias is that the Quick Claw Shadow Ball is a real risk. I have a heavy suspicion that the smartest thing to do against this Flareon is actually to kill it with Blissey. Because that way I'm going to enter a 3 versus 1 endgame. It's so hard to play around the Quick Claw. I think I'm going to kill this. It's just so risky with the Shadow Ball crit against Latias. Okay, no Quick Claw, so I keep the sub. That's fine. That's completely fine. No point having to set up here. I can just kill this. Solar beam and overgrow not used. I know Reese, he's a legendary spammer. Tyranitar is included. Tyranitar and Dragonite are included on the legendary spammer teams. Okay, Latias is better than Latios. T-Wave. It is more likely to be Latias 6 than 5. I'm a little bit nervous about going Blissey if it is Latias 5 though. I'm just going to Torment. Okay. Very, very, very likely to use Thunder Wave. I'm half thinking about going to my own Latias. I would use up the I'd be using up Lumberry, but I think that might be fine. I can probably go Blissey first. It's not a big risk. Okay. So I can Seismic. That puts pressure onto using Recover at least. I do have to wait for Dragon Claw. Okay, there's Dragon Claw. I'm definitely switching. Definitely switching now. It could T-Wave. It's actually going to use T-Wave because... No, it's not, because I'm paralyzed. But if I wasn't paralyzed, it would T-Wave because Carmine is at -2 after a physical attack, and Recover is at -3 after the fact that it's faster than me. I'm actually not sure. It's going to use one of those two, but it's fine because I have more substitutes than it has Dragon Claws. Okay. So what I can do here is boost. And then it won't necessarily see the Dragon Claw kill. Which will increase the chance of Recover and T-Wave a lot. Just going to attack. I care about my PP. Okay. Well, it's not Latios 5. I am most concerned... It's not Latios 7 either. I am most concerned about Latios 3, obviously. I also don't want Latios 2 to Quick Claw. Okay, no Focus Band. Okay. Gillian. Yeah, it's just a legendary spammer, basically the same as the previous trainer. No Latios on the roster. That's something, at least. I need to be a little bit aware of Thunderbolt crit as well. Okay. It's very, very likely to be Registeel 5, because Registeel 4 would want a T-Wave. The thing about Registeel 5 is I probably want to PP stall it. Because I don't want it to come out against Latias. It's one of the biggest things that can stop the Latias sweep. So what is it going to do? It's going to spam Double Team, Substitute, Focus Punch, obviously. So there's the Focus Punch. I can now go Blissey. I'm just going to waste Growl, I think. It's going to use a lot of Toxics. Focus Punch is a 20 PP move. It's going to take a while to stall that out. Yeah, the only safe way to deal with this is indeed to fully stall it. I'm actually going to go back. I'm a bit worried about Blissey's substitute count. So I'm actually going to rest on the Focus Punch intentionally. That's fine, that's fine. Just want to stay healthy because I want to respect the Focus Punch crit. That's it. Now, even after all this stalling, while it still has Double Team left, I cannot safely Whirlwind. It's only got 2. Well, if it's got any at all, it's too much, really. It's using Toxic. Surely it's out. Okay, good. It's only got Struggle and Toxic now. So now I have to try and hit 1 Whirlwind. Which... Okay. not Suicune 2. Surf does not narrow it down. I wonder if I just have to use Torment here. I am very, very, very concerned about Suicune 6. He's unlikely to be Suicune 6, though. Maybe I should go straight to Blissey. I'm just in so much trouble if it's Calm Mind, though. Okay, that is definitely modest damage, which is not necessarily a good thing, because it could be Suicune 5 and Suicune 1. Okay. So I can Seismic, which prevents Calm Mind next turn. It's not Suicune 6, I know that. Suicune 5. Do I have to just kill this? No. The attack IV is not a big deal for Staraptor. 31 is slightly better, but it's literally like a 0.5% difference to the effective attack. It's not a big deal. I think I need to kill Suicune. I'm guessing he's playing on cards. Let me look at. So if I get Suicune below 40%, Calm Mind is at -2 guaranteed. So that would be 2 more Seismic. As long as I'm using Seismic, it can't Calm Mind. It has to use Ice Beam here, actually. It's got no choice. Because it's faster, it can't Icy Wind. And because I just attacked, it can't Calm Mind. So it's now actually, it's never going to use Calm Mind until Surf and Ice Beam are both out of PP. I mean, low-key, I can kind of set up on this now. I was kind of hoping the substitute survived the +1 Surf. It looks like it doesn't. I'm nervous about being frozen. I'm also nervous about that. Oh, that's really not good. I can switch into a Surf on Latias. It's okay. The crit into the freeze is a bit rough. It's guaranteed to Ice Beam here. Actually, it's not going to Ice Beam, it's going to Icy Wind. I'm wondering if I can... I can't really stay in. It's at +1. It's too much while it still has Ice Beam left. I'm totally in surf range. I need to softball though. If this crits or high rolls here, I'm gonna have to risk the Latias setup. Jesus. Man, I hate freeze so much. I'm pretty sure it doesn't have the PP to win from here. Bum, 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 bum. What's tricky about this is... Oh my god, it's gonna calm mind. I think it's fine. I think I just about do this against speaking. Yeah, it's gonna calm mine now because Ice Beam is out of PP. I think it's fine. It's just going to be quite close with the soft-boiled PP. The saving grace here might be the fact that I have Protect, unironically. This is going to be really close. I could just Seismic. I'll have time later to bail. It's not too bad yet. This is insanely scary. I think that's the last Icy Wind. Okay. How many more has it got? None, okay. I was off by one. That happens too often. Oh my god, dude. I'm not in a position to handle T-Tar. This is one of the problematic sets and it goes nuts. Okay. And this thing's got no double team PP left, so I kill it easily. No, no, no. Okay, that's it. I'm playing worse. I lost focus a bit at the end there. Right, where's the frontier players? You want me to raid them? Ba-ba-bum-ba-bum. Not seeing anyone. Any Gen 4s? Any Gen 4 factory? Nope. Okay. Cool. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I tried to do a better job in commentary. This stream, at least. We got to 189. It was a successful stream. Got in 28 battles, which is about what I typically do. It's about a bit over half an hour per set, which is probably fine. This is a rather complicated and slow team. Cool. See you later, guys.